Tesla and Elon Musk retract their $50,000 anti-selling clause. Have you heard about this?
I did hear a little bit about the clause originally.
I thought that was insane when they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can't resell your Cybertruck, otherwise we're gonna sue you for $50,000." I'm like, what? That's like the cost of the damn truck.
Yes, that is crazy. Yeah, just the reseller, because I think like I feel that with Teslas, when they originally come out, people want it right away. It's like the iPhones.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like it's gonna be. Well, we'll get to this later, but I think it's because of the limited number of models that have come out. Because the $50,000 might not be enough of a to discourage these people from reselling.
Really? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So, the idea behind it is that the production numbers for the amount of Tesla Cybertrucks is going to be much lower than expected.
Yeah.
So, by the numbers being much lower, that means they're much more of a hot commodity, meaning that $50,000 is nothing because they could potentially have even more. Because if there's only like, let's say they only release 20, there's only 20 for the world. And then it's like, oh, maybe someone would want to pay like much more than that to get their hands on like one of the first Cybertrucks.
Yes. I feel like this always happens, especially with Tesla and their vehicle production. I feel that when they originally launch a new vehicle, they can only provide so much right off the bat, and then they have to ramp up. So it usually does take a while, but they do take pre-orders. And I remember hearing pre-orders were a lot.
There are a lot, but the pre-order amount for the Cybertruck was not very expensive. It was like in the range of like $50 to $100 for the pre-order, and it's like that's nothing. I feel like a lot of people just put their money down and they didn't intend to actually buy a Cybertruck.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know it was that low because
it was very low. I think people were thinking of maybe the Model 3 had I think $1,000.
Yeah, I do remember that the other ones were higher.
Yeah, and then the Tesla Roadster I think was like $50,000. So, Elon is saying that the high complexity of the production for the Cybertruck is going to be the limiting issue. And you've seen the Cybertruck? Have you seen it in real life?
Yeah, I have not seen it in real life.
On the road?
No, I have not seen it.
I've actually seen it on the road.
Oh, you've seen it on the road?
It looks
oh my
crazy.
God. It does?
Yeah, you're like, what the heck?
It's like a Halo vehicle. a not rendered Halo vehicle.
Yeah, not from the new Xbox, from
the first
the original
one, the Combat Evolved Halo.
But yeah, so they're thinking that it's not going to be releasing that many trucks, and this goes on to be further like exacerbate other issues. There's been a lot of footage coming out about the Cybertruck, like the poor quality that apparently like a lot of big panel gaps and things not fitting.
I've seen those photos. They look rough, to be honest.
And I'm going to show you a picture, but it's the Cybertruck. So the Cybertruck, they were taking it out on a like off-roading adventure, and they're going up this hill, and then the Cybertruck is like visibly struggling to get up this hill.
Really? Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen a video of this. I see the picture, but
yeah. So it's like a fairly decently steep hill, but you're like, okay, and then maybe only seeing that Cybertruck video, like, oh, maybe that's just a difficult thing. Apparently not, because the Rivian and the Ford F-150 Lightning electric truck both did the hill, and they were able to get up much easier.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's more negative press on the Cybertruck.
Yes, but you don't. Okay, so the whole thing is you buy the Cybertruck for the aesthetics of it. You buy it because you feel
for the Cyberquad.
For the Cyberquad, you buy it to shoot your compound bow at it. So you go.
I think that's so wild.
That was wild. But yes, I think that people will buy it for the look of it. I think a lot of people who will originally buy it will be the people who are like Tesla enthusiasts. And I think that, it's the whole thing about like the new item, new product, like bugs that they're going to work out in the beginning. So people, honestly, I feel the people who buy it now are probably going to make reviews about it and like test it out and give like their feedback.
Or maybe rent it out too. I think
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I think a lot of the press coming out is that people just want to try it out, but I don't think they want to actually own it.
Yeah.
And there's other issues and other things that we'll talk about in the next part of the segment after you consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button.
Yeah, so we put out videos daily. We have a library of over 200 videos talking about varying topics. I'm pretty sure there's one in there that you will probably like. And subscribing only takes a second, and it does really help out the channel. So consider subscribing.
Yeah, so the second part of this story is that I think there's a lot more issues. This is where the meat and potatoes are if you stayed this long. So I think there's a lot of more issues than Tesla's leading on, and that's why they pulled back the
production.
Pulled back the production because it's too difficult, but also took away the fine and other things because the interior is kind of like a touchy subject for the Cybertruck, apparently.
Corinthian leather?
No. Apparently people were trying to post pictures or like post things about the interior. And Tesla was not happy about them posting pictures about the interior on the Cybertruck. Apparently, the Cybertruck's interior is not very good.
That makes me more curious to see what it is inside.
It kind of looks very basic. I think, like you think, like maybe it's like bad quality. It just kind of looks not as crazy as the outside. You kind of want the inside to feel special, but only the outside is kind of special.
Yeah. I mean, but in reality, it's like people are only going to see the outside of it. They're
That's
not really
true.
Going into your car unless you bring someone.
But I mean,
in your car.
you're the one driving it. You want it to look kind of cool inside, which it was more angular. This kind of looks like a Model 3 inside. Spoilers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Actually, thinking about that, that must be very polarizing. Looking at the outside and then coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. I did have a couple more things to say, by the way, because originally the whole thing was that they put a clause in for the Cybertruck, and they put $50,000 that they would sue for, and you'd be barred from buying any other Tesla car potentially in the future. This is not very uncommon for luxury supercars,
yes,
like Ferraris or like Lamborghinis or stuff like that. But that was the argument a lot of people within like comments that I was reading were saying. They were like, well, this is not very uncommon in the car world for these supercars. But then again, it's like you're not buying a supercar. And that's what that's like, I think that you can put it in there. But the thing is like, and it's not very uncommon. I just think it's very uncommon for the average consumer.
So these people might actually be a little misled.
Oh, really?
Because apparently, according to Edmunds, an Edmunds analyst, they said that fewer than 1% of all cars on the market are subject to the resale restriction.
Yeah, it's only like Ferrari.
Yeah,
it's like
very small number. Yeah. And apparently these types of clauses are very difficult to enforce about non-resale because I don't know if you've actually heard about this, but a high-profile wrestler, one that you can't see very well, got in trouble for reselling his car.
I know. I was going to bring him up, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him what it is?
I think I forgot what it was, but wasn't it a Ferrari?
No, it's the other one. It's Ford versus Ferrari.
So yes, yeah.
The Ford GT.
Yeah, it was the GT. Yes, it was the GT. I do remember this, and that's what I was thinking of originally because they said you couldn't do that because it was a very expensive, very limited car, and they didn't want just anyone having it.
Yeah, because it was the expensive limit, and you had to go and apply for it. So like in the application, you had to say that you were gonna actually drive the car and like why you deserve the car over someone else, yada yada yada. So you can't see me. So that's one reason that they also speculate that they took it away because it might be difficult to enforce, difficult to keep track of, etc.
I can see that, yeah.
But this is the final note. Tesla in the past has apparently tried to stop scalpers from reselling cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So apparently, in the last couple of years, Tesla car owners were able to resell their cars right after getting them for about $7,000 in profit. Like they'd buy the car and then immediately
sell it. I do remember that. Yeah, because of the low production, people didn't want to wait. They'd rather pay more.
Yeah. So apparently they the Tesla crew sent the Tesla loss prevention team, and they sent and like contacted these resellers and told them that they were in violation of the company's reseller policy.
Yeah,
And
but resellers are gonna be everywhere.
yeah,
You can't stop resellers. It's just gonna you're gonna
this
have
is
to
going
work
to
with
keep
them.
exactly. So this is going to be an interesting one because I do think it's one of the most anticipated cars coming up because it's like, oh, it's so like outlandish. Like imagine like because you already know that like, oh, you know, it's going to be mass produced and yada yada, but the track record for Tesla to actually mass produce these cars or actually like put out more cars is going to take a while before there's a bunch of Cybertrucks on the road.
Yeah.
So if you have the Cybertruck, it's going to be a really cool talking piece, and you'll get a lot of like social credit, I suppose, by having it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be like when the Model S first came out, and people were like, "Oh, you have a Model S? Like, let me go in your car. I want to check
I
it
think
out."
it was pretty cool initially because it was like such a different experience, but now it's like everybody kind of has one.
Yeah,
At least in California.
Yeah, at least in California. And I was gonna say, I think a lot of people have the Model 3.
Yeah, that one's also pretty nice.
Yeah.
But let us know down in the comments below. Would you still buy the Cybertruck? Do you think that Elon overpromised?
Yeah, I think he overpromised. I think that one's true. But let us know.
Yeah.
He's literally only gonna produce so much.
Yeah, he's not producing very many. Like,
Would
there's
you
a
buy
picture.
Cybertruck?
Me, I don't think I'd be able to fit this. It's a big ass car.
I know.
I don't think I could fit it in the.
Oh, really?
It's really wide. Like, look at like.
Would it be able to fit in my garage port?
It's like it's a full size truck. It's like imagine an F-150 trying to park in your lot. I think you'd have to park it on the street. I wouldn't want to park my Tesla Cybertruck.
Sure. Who's gonna steal it? No one's gonna be able to steal it. Who's gonna?
All the gangsters are gonna want it.
You're gonna see bullet holes, and you're gonna see
it's gonna be
compound bow arrow shots into it.
No. There's gonna be dents, but no holes, because it's blocking them all.
They're gonna hit a bowling ball. They're gonna hit it with a bat, and the windows are gonna shatter.
Hey. But it won't cave in.
Oh, true. Okay.
See? Yeah.
It doesn't have a drive. It doesn't have a drive train, so it's. I've seen the Joe Rogan clips, by the way. Okay.
He's really good at selling the Cybertruck, but it's kind of crazy.